Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and today I would like to share with you guys a wonderful product by Original Goat. Original Goat is a fully USA manufacturer of ridiculously beautiful scales for a honestly a quite wide variety of different models. They do like the Deca, some of the like Doug Ritter stuff, the mini and the full size. A couple cold steels. I'm not super versed in the different models and names. I don't want to butcher them, but they do a good bit of really popular knives out there. And they're a relatively new company. They're young, but some of the stuff they're making, Jesus Christ, it is incredible. Now it is really pricey. Some of their stuff is super expensive, but not overpriced. That's the huge difference here, is that while their stuff is pricey and expensive, I don't believe it is overpriced. What they are bringing and sharing with the community is honestly like tolerances I've never really experienced before. So I just want to show you guys. I've already installed them on my full size. This is the Magna Cut. I got this guy on the second run from, I believe it was a Knife Center, or no, not Knife Center, Knifeworks. So this was a Knifeworks exclusive a while back, and it's been a wonderful knife. I did try selling it because of financial reasons. It originally had the beautifully milled carbon fiber scales. I still have those. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but yeah, I decided to take back the knife. Essentially, I had it up on NAF sale. I was asking a little bit more for it than what I purchased it for, because it is a very rare Doug Ritter knife. It is very hard to get and super sought after. While it was up on NAF sale, I kid you not, every other day I was getting a message from somebody asking for a trade, and they were willing to trade like 3 or 4 different knives for this one knife, but nobody was willing to pay the actual money. And I wasn't looking for more knives. I was looking for money because of financial reasons. Eventually that, time passed on finally, and things got a little bit better. So I decided, hey, I really want to be able to start using the knife again. So I pulled it off, and shortly after I did, I got a notification on Instagram, because I do follow Original Goat. Even though I've never purchased anything from them before, I always like the stuff that they do. It's just always kind of been out of my price range. Now, financially speaking, I have been doing a little bit better. I have a job that I work a lot in now, so a lot of overtime, which is awesome. And so a lot of that goes into my hobby, and to other things that I like, plants and animals, and also knives now. But I ended up spending more money on the scales than what the knife costs as is. The scales themselves were about $250. They were a very short run. There were only a couple of them made. It wasn't a huge batch made, but it's something that is made in small batch format, so they're able to stay a little bit tighter with tolerances and QC and things like that. Another thing that I want to get into real quick is I did attempt to make a assembly video of this, but it was a huge fail because there were some issues I was having with reassembling the knife. There was a little mishap. There are no screws or threads to accept the pocket clip screws directly into the titanium, which some people would definitely appreciate. But what they use are these little brass plugs that fit into the holes that are threaded. So they had to send me those at a later date. Their customer service was incredible. I messaged them the day I got the scales, and I was like, hey, there are no threads. How am I gonna, mount my clip? And the next day, I believe it was like less than 24 hours, I got a response from one of their customer service members, and they said, oh crap, that really sucks. We're gonna send out the little inserts for the pocket clip. And it was like 3 days later, I finally got them in. They popped right in. No fuss, no no major issues with putting that in there. That was the only little hiccup. So it wasn't a perfect streamlined process. There was a little issue, and they said because this is a relatively new item that they're offering, they kind of just missed that step in their process. So as I mentioned before, I've never purchased anything from Original Goat before, but from what I understand is that maybe some of their other scale options, because they do a lot of carbon fiber, maybe those already have well, not carbon fiber, but sorry, they do a lot of aluminum. They do a lot of aluminum stuff. That's really what's, you know, started Original Goat and everything. Now they're, you know, delving into a couple other like impact resistant plastic materials and things like that. Some stuff that's translucent and, you know, other stuff. They also do like anodizing and coloring and things like that. But it was just a little step that was very, very vital. But they missed that step in the process and shipped it out. So I'm assuming almost everybody that got these scales wound up running into the same issue possibly. But it was a really easy fix. Their customer service, again, super sweet, extremely responsive, fast shipping, and it's just a wonderful experience overall. Getting into the actual scales themselves, just want to do some up and closies. The assembly of this was extremely easy. The one thing that does make this a little bit different from the scales that typically come on the RSKs is, I forget which ones, but I think it's the center one and this one right here. They're a little bit shorter, but they actually include screws. So directly from Original Goat, they include color matching screws to go, which is, you know, very thoughtful of them to, you know, keep, you know, your color scheme going. That's all black hardware and clip. That's what I have going. So, you know, they offered that at no extra cost. And again, assembly was really easy. There's no major play. There was no issue assembling them. And these things are just absolutely incredible. Just take a look at that. Now, I can't remember the actual finish name. They do multiple different finishes. But this was like essentially their version of a stonewash tumbled working finish, which I definitely love because this is a knife that I have been taking to work a lot. It is a rather large knife, and while I do definitely prefer the mini, something just needs to be said about how epic this thing is. Now, it is a brick. This is now the heaviest knife in my collection. It is heavier than my like fully custom PM2. And what else? I have a Spartan Harsey, the large one. This is heavier than that, not by much, but yeah, this thing is kind of a brick. 6.3. You're not gonna want to put this in some basketball shorts. I did because I really wanted to carry this, and we were having a little cookout here at my house. I believe it was for Father's Day not too long ago, and I was using this, and my fiance was just making fun of me because she's like, "Why your pants look so saggy?" I was like, "Oh, because I'm carrying this freaking brick of a knife." And she's like, "Why don't you get something else?" And I said, "Well, I really want to carry. I want to show it off to people." And like my father-in-law, I've gifted him some knives before, so he's, you know, starting to get into it a little bit. He's not, you know, the biggest fan of, you know, things being super crazy expensive. He likes, you know, more affordable stuff, which is completely okay. But I was showing him this, and he was just playing around with it for a little bit, and he's like, this is wonderful, and it looks beautiful too. And he was asking me like, how much did it cost? And I told him, well, you know, it was $250, and the knife was a little bit less. I think it was like $210 for the knife. And he's like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would the scales cost more? And I said, well, because it's a boutique brand, and you know, they don't mass produce things. Their fit and finish, their tolerances, their QC is guaranteed to be better because it's just smaller batch, which it's cool, and it's nice to support that. It's also US made, which not everybody is going to be a fan of that, but I know a lot of people are, as am I. But just know going into a project like this is that this could actually be pretty expensive. If you guys hear that weird noise in the background, that's probably a B-2 bomber or something flying by. Possibly. In the area where I live, they do a lot of flight tests around here. So a lot of big aircrafts zipping by, so you get used to it. If anything, you just become a little deaf to it. But sorry about that background noise. But that's really about it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. So if anybody has received these and they're just kind of butthurt that, you know, it wasn't a perfect streamlined process, I'm sorry for your experience, but just reach out to the team at Original Go and they'll take care of you as they did me. I didn't say, hey, I'm an influencer, I have a YouTube channel, I'm gonna put you guys on blast. It wasn't anything like that. It was, I'm a consumer. That's, you know, that's who I am. I'm an individual in the hobby, an enthusiast, and, you know, I told them, hey, like, I really love this knife, and these scales are absolutely incredible. I would just like to be able to carry it, and they were like, oh, don't worry, we'll take care of it. And just a couple days later, they sent me the inserts and everything was good to go. I gave them a wonderful review and told them, you know, you guys are awesome. The knife is incredible. The fit and finish work is just superb, and there was no fuss with actual installation. So that was pretty freaking sweet. So now this is a tank of a knife. Probably the most ultimate RSK that is out there. I mean, you have MagnaCut, that's already pretty rare, and now with the small batch boutique brand scales, that's pretty freaking sweet too. I'm super excited to have this in the collection in its current state. I most likely will be doing some anodizing and at a later time, but as for now, that is pretty much it. I will be linking down Original Goat in the description if you guys are interested. If you guys are currently subscribed, thank you so much for your support and your patience. Of course, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing because I have plenty more content coming your way. Reviews, unboxings, modification videos, things like that, just fun stuff. So with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.